Hello everyone, my name is Pottigar Vinayak. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology, Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. So today's topic is related with your public clouds and the topic name is AWS EBS volumes, which we call as elastic block storage. So at the end of this particular session, the learning outcomes are like that. This end of this particular sessions, the students will be understand how to use the AWS EBS storage options. So they will be able to demonstrate how to create EBS volumes and attach it to the running EC2 instance. So this is what we wanted to configure. Like Amazon EC2 provides you with a flexible, cost effective and easy to use data storage options for your instances. So first of all, we need to have an instance, and this particular Amazon EBS which is needs to be attached to this particular instance. So at and when we require, we can take the particular backup of this, which we call as a snapshot. So what is AWS EBS is all about? So Amazon EBS provides durable block level storage volumes that you can attach to a running instance. You can use Amazon EBS as a primary storage device for data that requires frequent and regular updates. An EBS volume behaves like a raw, unformatted external block device that you can attach to a single instance. The volume persists independently from the running life of a particular instance. And after an EBS volume is attached to the instance, you can use it like any other physical device. And later on, you can detach it also. So these are the volume types which we can look for. So solid state drives, we have hard disk and previous generations drives also. So time to demonstrate how the EBS volumes can be attached to an EC2 instance. So for this, we'll quickly jump to a AWS login where we require a particular EC2 instance. So on the top right corner, just get one. So we'll write the particular name of this particular instance as, we'll talk about Windows AWS instance, where we look for the free tier Windows, which is Microsoft Windows Server 2022 base. Now instance type will keep it as default, and we'll get back this particular key which is required to connect with our EC2 instance. Now we'll go across this particular security groups and make the HTTP traffic flow towards our instance. So by default, we'll get 30 GB of space. As and when you require, you can add the new volumes into it. And once it is done, we'll only launch a single instance. So press on launch instance button and wait for the instance to be provisioned. So we got the success for this particular EC2 instance. So go back to the particular instance dashboard, where if you can refresh this, you can clearly see this particular Windows which we have launched, Windows Server which we have launched, is currently in a pending state. So we'll refresh and wait till this particular instance comes to a ready state. And if you can monitor, this instance is available in AP South 1A availability zone. So this is a data center where this machine gets launched. Now see, this particular machine is currently working, but still we have this particular initialization state for the status check. So we'll wait for that. So if you can go across this particular storage sites, where you can see this is a root volume. By default, you get the size of this particular volume is 30 GB. Now externally, we wanted to add or update the external SSDs or HSDs to this particular EC2 instance. So till this particular instance comes to a particular status check 2x2, we'll go across the left hand side and we'll talk about this elastic block storage. So first is the volumes. Now I'll create one particular volume. See, this is the default volume which we received when we launched web server of type Windows, which is comes in 30 GB by default. Now we wanted to add an EBS volume to this particular instance. So we'll go and create one. So if you could see, this is general purpose SSD, and we'll add only 10 GB of hard disk to our running instance. So this particular AP South 1A, where our instance is currently running. So we'll go across, keep this particular tags. If you want, you can add it. Otherwise, just create the volume. So you can identify this volume having the size of 10 GB. Now this particular volume we need to attach to our Windows instance. So for an example, if you go into the particular action tabs, we have multiple options for this. So we can attach the volumes, we can detach the volumes, we force this detached volume from the running EC2 instance, and so on and so forth. But before this, we'll go across the particular instance which we have launched and we'll get it operational. Now in this, if you could see, this status check comes to 2x2 checked passed, means you can connect to this particular instance. Now for an example, I'll try to connect to this particular instance. So for that, I need a particular IPv4 address which is we received. So I'll just copy this particular IPv4 address. We'll try to connect this particular running instance which is Windows based. So the protocol which we are using is RDP. So we'll just click this particular RDP client, where to get the password to go into that particular instance, I need this particular downloaded remote desktop files, okay, which is we wanted to connect it with, and later on to get the password, just hit this particular get password button. Now we wanted that particular primary key, private key, which is we made it available while the and which is available in a particular download section. So this key.pem, which we'll try to open, through this will decrypt this particular password. So I'll get the password, okay, on dashboard. Now I'll use this simple remote desktop connection software to connect to our EC2 instance. Now wait for some time. Now once this would be available, so we wanted that particular IP to which I wanted to connect. So this is 52.66.2064 is the IP of my running instance. For an example, if we go across, this running instance in the details having the same IP address. I'll get back to this particular once. Okay, so I'll connect. I'm trying to connect with that particular machine. So sooner or later it will ask me to enter the administrator user, and this password we wanted to capture from this running instance. So we have this particular password received. Go back, just paste it and connect to your instance. See, this machine is provisioned in Mumbai region and AP South 1A availability zone. So we received this fresh Windows based machine where we can install our required softwares. So we'll wait for this particular machine to come to a provision state. It is still booting. Now till that time, see, we wanted this particular, see, this instance is right now running, and if you seek these particular storage options for this, see, this is having only a single SSD which is provided, and we wanted this particular newly associated volumes to attach to this particular virtual machine, which is of size 10 GB. So we'll wait till this machine gets provisioned. So this machine is about to provision. Now if you check the particular storage options that we have in this particular, we received in this machine. If you click this particular this PC, see, we have the default 30 GB space, which is we called as a root volume. Now we wanted to add the extra volume which we have created of the size 10 GB. So how to provision this? Go into the action state and refresh it for a while. So once it comes, click this particular volume, which is EBS volume. Go into the action menu and attach this particular volume to the running instance. So if I click, this is the particular instance which is working in this AP South 1A. So I wanted to attach this to the corresponding instance, running instance. So just press attach volume button. And if you can check, see, we'll go back to this, still nothing happens. Even if you just refresh this. So for this, I need to go to the disk management state. See, double click this. See, this is a disk management option where this 10 GB size we wanted to attach to the current running instance. So right click this, make it an online. One more time, right click, initialize this particular disk. And last option is right click here and create a new sample volume out of it. See, this is worked as a D drive to the running instance. So we'll go back to the defaults and we'll just click. Now once it is made it available, see, if you can see, this particular EBS volume is attached to the current running instance. Now whenever you don't want this, you can detach it. So how to detach this particular volume from the current instance? So just click this provision volume which we wanted to detach. Go back to the action tag where we have a force detach volume option. Okay, so where just give the keyword detach, and we wanted forcefully this particular EBS volume to be get detached from the running instance. Now if you can check it, so this EBS volume is successfully detached. See, this is how you can provision the EBS volumes to the current running instance. Now stop for a while and answer this particular question. Following is the block storage device of AWS. One is S3 bucket, second is elastic block storage, third is RDS, or it is the DynamoDB. Pause for a while and answer. So the correct answer is B, which is elastic block storage. So in this session, we have seen how to provision EBS volume to a running instance. Thank you.